Hi everybody, welcome to Sophquest. I'm Spence. So you may have noticed I've taken a bit more breaks in between the last few weeks for the holiday season. I needed to do that for my own health and well-being. And I hope you've been taking a little bit of time, a little extra time for yourselves as well. But I want to let you know I'll be back to doing your weekly readings very soon after the holiday season. So thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoy these readings. And I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you that celebrate anything else. Hi Gemini, welcome to Sophquest. Alright, so we're going to use the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid with the artwork of Jenna Della Gratalia. And we're using the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. Gorgeous decks. I hope you enjoy them today. Alright. So Gemini, I got to tell you, this is a big week for you and a big time, a big season. It's been a big, year and a half or more for you because the North Node has been in Gemini. Now that we're in Sagittarius season, which is your opposite axis on the wheel, it is a time for your full moon. And Gemini, your full moon should be on the 18th if you're pretty much anywhere in the United States, or the 19th, other places in the world. And it is a massive full moon. It's directed toward the galactic center. We have a Venus stopping in the sky, stationing, and very powerful energy before it retrogrades and goes into retrograde and is in retrograde through the end of January and in the post of retrograde season into February. So Venus retrograde is important, and because it's right there with Pluto, it's about transformation of what we value, what we love, friendships, the things that bring us joy and pleasure, all things Venus, right? Beauty, art, music, the things we love, and the things that we prioritize in our life, right? The things that we find to be the best of life, right? Like, what would you do if you could have the best day ever? What would that day be about? And your card just popped out, wishing well. I love it. Wishing well. Nice. All right. And then expand that out and say, what would the best month of your life be like? What would the best year of your life be like? What would the best life you've ever lived be like? Because right now, I think you're having a very broad, wide, deep understanding of what you value. I think that you've been listening and learning while the North Node has been in your sign, Gemini, opening your mind to everything that's been going on in the year 2021, right? With the Saturn-Uranus squares. We've had 3, or will have had 3 by Christmas Eve. The third and final in the trifecta is on December 24th. Saturn in Aquarius, square Uranus and Taurus. The old guard in the new house and the new guy in the old house, right? Trying to understand the value of each, right? It's like taking Grandpa to a smart home, right? And having him have to learn how to turn on the water and the faucet and what's that going off and what's that sound, and all computerized and modern, and then taking the upstart, right, the new guy, to, I don't know, Buckingham Palace and letting him walk around and take that all in. It's both, and it's happening all together in one year. And now that we're at the end of the year, we're having to really look at what we've learned from that. What we've learned of how to create the amalgam of both, the old and the new. And we can only do that when we know what we value, when we know what gives us pleasure and joy and happiness, what makes us feel loved and appreciated, what makes us smile and sing and be happy. Those things matter to your life. They are the elixir of life. They make you feel love in all of its glory. They make you feel like you, I'm saying Venus things, right? So in other words, your paycheck, right? You work very hard for your money, so when you get your paycheck, it makes you feel valued. My work has worth, right? If you fall in love with a beautiful woman or a beautiful man, It's just like you appreciate every curve, every line on them, because you can see such beautiful light emanating out from them. And if it's a piece of art, if it's a concert in the park, whatever it is that you love in your life, that you feel brings value to your life, those things are being prioritized right now. And the things that do not feel that way, well, those things are being shed and let go of, because we're starting to get into alignment and put things in order, right? All right, Gemini. Let's look at your cards today. I'm going to read horizontally, vertically, and big picture, and talk about the bottom of the deck, which is sort of the internal stuff that's going on under the surface, sort of subconsciously, that maybe you're working on. All right, I'm going to take this in for a minute. If you would just take 3 deep cleansing breaths with me and relax. Relax your body, bring down your cortisol, lower your stress, and just settle in. All right, Gemini. Well, firstly, we have the card Wishing Well. So we're going to look at that. Wishing Well. That is number 48 in the deck by Colette Baron Reed. And it says, desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It's an aha moment when everything seems to make sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate, or perhaps you're conceiving a baby or an idea. The Wishing Well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings, new life. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens, it just does. To that end, you can control the process of growth. No, to that end, you cannot control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside and be a channel for the higher force and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well, and then trust in spirit and prepare to be amazed. So, in the co-creative process of anything, you take your free will and you make your wish, you make your hope, your prayer, and you put it out into the universe. And then you let go and you let God, right? You just trust and have faith that the highest possible good will happen for you. And when you stay in that sense of faith and believing in the good things in life, and happiness and love, kindness, reverence, gratitude, the things I talk about, right? Equality, peace on earth, brotherhood of man, all the good stuff. The stuff that we should try every day to live, right? To be the change we want to see in the world. We have to have that hope, that prayer, that wish, and believe in it. I think that you are very much trying very hard to believe that love comes in the way of undeniable truth, right? It's like, you know, to love and be loved, right? There's an undeniable truth when you feel that. Right? It's just undeniable. You can't stop thinking about the person. You can't, you know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. I'm talking about like if you have the very best day ever with your best friend and you laugh all day long. It's just undeniable that you love each other, right? You're best pals. It could be with your sister or, you know, spending a great day Christmas shopping with your mom. Love abounds. It comes in all forms. And I think you're wishing on knowing when you have the free will to make changes in your life, when you're trying to move toward love. Loving and being loved was your message the last time I spoke with you. Let's look under the deck. Okay, so I have the Three of Cups. This is very much about enjoyment of life, smelling the roses, friendship, getting together, having a great time. But then I'm looking at the Seven of Swords and the Two of Swords. So deep inside, I think you need very much to be with people that you care about, because I think that you have been perhaps in denial. These two cards together say denial to me. Maybe you've been in denial that, you know, about needing to be with people, or to just have more fun, to have more enjoyment in life with friends, right? To feel more connected. And maybe it's stealing your peace of mind if you haven't been able to have those good connections, right? Reciprocal friendships, love relationships. The first card today in the spread is the Two of Cups. So I think we're talking about love relationships, especially when this is under the deck. And you want to have love and enjoyment of life with people. You want to be in good company, right? You don't want to be with joy stealers who just confuse you. It's like, this is like frenemy kind of energy that I'm looking at, right? This is like a frenemy, and that just confuses you. You're like, which is it, right? They love me and they love me not. Which is it? So I think that you're asking yourself, or questioning to yourself, whether your friends, your allies, the people in your life are there for you, and whether, you know, you feel supported. And so I think that's why this is the first card today in your deck. So in the spread, so we have the Two of Cups, Seven of Cups. Again, confused about love. And getting messages about love, but going, what? I'm not sure. Was that a compliment or an underhanded compliment? A backhanded compliment? What, you know, who is speaking to you with love? What are they saying? And does it sound like love to you? Right? What I'm getting is confusing messages. And I think that this has had you asking yourself whether or not you need to empower yourself to make a change and bring yourself into some new energy with new life, right? We have the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, this could be a new job and a new boss, and not really knowing whether or not you get along with that person, right? Okay? And the way that they kind of run through the day, run their mouth, and how they talk, how someone's speaking to you, the actions they're taking, the way that they communicate to you. This could be someone in authority. This could be your father. This could be husband. This could be, you know, usually the Emperor is a very masculine energy. It could be a woman in charge for sure. But there is something new here. And this new beginning has legs. It's something that could really last. And I think you're going to go right for it. And I think you're asking yourself, you know, do they even like me? Or does the boss even like me? Or does, you know, if this is an Aries or someone in your life that, you know, has got his life under control, with the Emperor card, this is the center of your reading today, but I think it's more about empowerment, about empowering yourself to make the choices you want to make, and to stop, you know, to come out of heartbreak, anxiety, and worry, right? Like, this is the subconscious mind, right? The moon. And it's the full moon in Gemini right now. So I think, you know, maybe you're drowning a little bit in your own feelings about things and not knowing where you sort of stand I think that you've been hurt, and I think that it's been really weighing on your mind with the Nine of Swords. It's making you feel like underwater. Like every time you try, right, to start over or start something new or whatever, it's like then all of a sudden you feel like you're drowning a little bit. Let me just get my head around this for a second. There's so many messages coming through. It's like I'm getting boss vibes, work. I'm also getting friends and frenemies. I don't think that you know where you stand, Gemini, in some ways. Okay, this could just be the astronomy, right now in the astrology. Where the stars and planets are. This is your full moon. This is a big time of enlightenment, and you know, Pluto doesn't mess around. It transforms things. And when Venus goes into retrograde, you're really looking at the value of your relationships and whether you're in control over your own life. This is the question. Are you in control of your own life? Are you the master of your own fate? Kind of thing, right? I think you are really wanting to make a decisive action and move forward quickly, right, with this Knight of Swords, toward empowering yourself to make a change, to create something new that's going to stand the test of time. Because for you, I think relationships have been a bit confusing, maybe, and maybe superficial with the Page of Cups. It's kind of like, is this real, right? You know, maybe if love is superficial, or if you're single and you're dating, right? It's like, don't get all caught up in the, you know, superficial, oh, you put the phone down first, I love you so much, I can't say goodbye, right? All that, it's fantasized. You know, is this a fantasy? That's what I see with those three cards. Is this real, or is it, you know, something I just don't understand? Is it a fantasy? Is it superficial? Okay? That's how I'm seeing it. It's like you're not sure how you feel about this. And I think it has to do with the people, you know, in your life that you're surrounded by that you would normally have a good time with, or that are your friends or your family or your people, you know, who you go through life, celebrating life with. Because there's something here that is going on that you don't get. You don't understand where someone's coming from for some reason. And it's like, maybe there's a runner-chaser kind of vibe happening. This could be the runner, you know, and who's in charge here, and is there going to be a real commitment or not? If this is someone new that you're dating and he's just got it going on, right, and he's an emperor, and this is a brand new relationship that you think could go long term, someone you could marry, listen to what he says, you know, or if it's a woman, either way. Listen to what this person says, Gemini, because how they speak, it's like, is it superficial? You know, do they just say, I love you, but then there's nothing left? Or do they turn their back, run away? When it gets deeper, when you go deeper. And the reason I'm saying that is because, you know, love can endure all things, right? It says that in the Bible. Love endures all things. And this is all things. So, here's what I'm seeing, Gemini. You want control over your own love life enough to have choice in your own relationships so that they're neither superficial and unreal or painful and destructive and fearful and worrisome. You're going through your major feelings here, to the point where it's like, my feelings are all over the place. I'm trying to read it, and it's like, it's a roller coaster. It's a bit of a roller coaster. So what are you praying for? What are you wishing for? I think you are, number one, wanting to have control over your own emotional well-being. Because this is not being in a state of well-being. This is not knowing how you feel, what you think, what's right, what's the best choice. It's being in constant flux because you're not sure who you can trust. That's what I'm seeing under the deck. Whether you're denying it or not, I think you have some trust issues for some of you. Not all of you. Just saying. So this is what I'm seeing, people. So pray and wish and hope for a love that just feels good, right? Happy, right? Running through the meadow, singing a song, and just able to breathe and enjoy life. People that you get along really well with. And people that when you're in their company, you're in good company. Right? It's the most natural thing in the world. I think that's what you want. I don't think that you're fantasizing about something that isn't quite real. I think you're getting very real. You're like fair weather, foul weather. I want somebody that's going to be able to make the decision, right? To have a strong, self-assured commitment to love. Someone that can commit to real love in the good times, in the bad times, when I'm doubting myself, or when I'm happy and, happy-go-lucky, or when I'm doubting myself, right? You're in doubt. I think you're in doubt. I think that if you've been in a relationship that's been this, that has this kind of polarity where it's like really, really good or really, really bad, you're going to take control over that. You're about to truly empower yourself to make your choices in your own life. Because this is your life. This is your seed, and you get to plant it. You are the emperor or the empress of your own empire. And if you're wishing for someone that is that strong, or that is that self-assured, or that in control of themselves and their abilities, then, if you're lonely and begging God, please bring me the person I want to love, and you're worrying at night and you're just drowning in that. If you're single, Gemini, and you're just hoping against hope when you've been really hurt in love, whether or not you'll ever find the perfect man or the perfect woman, well, just keep believing in love. There is no perfect man or perfect woman. Even love, in its perfection, because love heals. Love heals. Love feels good. But even in that, in its perfection, it doesn't act in life in a way that looks perfect, right? Love abounds when you're at your most beautiful and when you're having a really bad hair day. I mean, you know what I mean? Fair weather, foul weather. Love endures all things. If it's not love and you're doubting, do I have a frenemy here that doesn't have my best interest at heart? Then trust your feelings. I don't think you're trusting yourself, Gemini, at least not right this minute. And it could be, like I said, we've had Saturn Uranus square 3 times. Old, new, what do I want? How do I feel? And you're a Gemini. You weigh it all out. don't you? You really look at both sides of things. So when it comes to love, what is it that you're hoping for? I don't think you want either of these polarities. I don't think you want the perfect fantasy, princess, prince love, or, you know, toxic. I think you want love that can stand the test of time. I think you want a love that brings you a sense of together we can do anything. I'm empowered, you're empowered, life is filled with potential. We can do anything, right? That kind of love. So whatever it is, like put it out there and let God take care of it. Right, Gemini? All right, so going down the vertical, Gemini, I'm seeing the Two of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Swords. So I think that, you know, you've been disappointed in the past, looking at love and maybe even chasing it or wanting to, needing to love and be loved, right? And I think that there's been confusion, and if there's been some emotional issues of control or authority, you may be looking at that very, very closely and asking yourself about your intentions, their intentions, and how it feels. How does this person make you feel? If it's a person, right? Or how do you feel about yourself and your own empowerment when it comes to your emotional investment in the relationship? And why have you been hurt in the past? What are your expectations? Okay, and in the Page of Cups, it's like, this message, is this for the real long term? Is this an investment that you can make? And what's the worry and concern about? What are you trying to tell yourself under the deck, right? What are you avoiding telling yourself? I think that this is about love's true intentions, right? The truest intention for love here. Because I can see that you really want something deep, real, and everlasting. And I think that you've tried to take back maybe some of your own power, and also tried to understand the power of your emotional intensity as well, and whether someone matches you on that vibration. Because the Two of Cups is nothing to sneeze at. These are two people that have the potential to love each other well. If you're in a relationship, I think something has been going wrong with communication, right? Because we have the Knight of Swords and the Three of Swords. So it hasn't necessarily felt so good. And it's confusing you with the Seven of Cups, and maybe you've been drowning in your own emotions. And perhaps you're asking yourself the question, what is this person's intention? Is the intention for a new beginning where it's solid and sure? And why am I so worried about it? And what's all the anxiety over? The sleepless nights, you know, the nightmare situation here, because this is, you know, dark and difficult nights, worrying. And maybe you're just going through some, just this incredible shift emotionally within yourself, and realizing, you know, what you believe about love, what your standards for love are, and what someone else's is, and whether or not they match up, or how to empower yourself to love yourself better, right? To give yourself that state where you feel completely secure and in control, but also, you know, having free will. This is free will, right? And the ability to have control and agency in your life. And this is faith. And this is fear and anxiety. So, Gemini, asking yourself, what has hurt you about love in the past? You know, looking at this row. and what you want to run away from because it hurts, what you want to run toward. Asking yourself these questions about love, I think, are going to be very, very important for you right now. Full moon in Gemini, the last month of the North Node in Gemini, asking you to consider where your life is heading, with Venus and Pluto together in conjunction, going into a retrograde, a time of review about all the things in your life that you value and love. What stays, what goes, what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what makes you feel like the, emperor of your own life, like you're running your own life, and what makes you feel disempowered and unsure and untrusting. These are big questions, right? So it's time of prayer, a time of hope and faith in love itself, and during a season when we really are considering the deepest possible kind of love, the love for all humanity, in non-judgment, in inclusivity, in acceptance and agape. It's Christ consciousness. And to love and be loved, to do unto others as you want them to do unto you. It's the golden rule of love. And love itself is something we think about at this time. And for the next month and a half or so, we're going to be thinking about it very, very deeply, because Pluto does transform us and helps us to really evaluate what we want to take forward in our lives, what we need to leave behind, what's healthy for us, what empowers us, and what disempowers us. And I think that you're thinking about all of those things. So I think it's a pretty important time for you, Gemini. All right, you take care. I want to wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. I wish you very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I will be back to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope you do. Click the like and subscribe button, and I'll be back to talk to you again soon. Thanks, Gemini. Take care and enjoy your full moon. I think it's going to be pretty major for you. All right, take care.